It's Live with Kelly. Today, film, television, and now Broadway star Kristen Davis. And we'll meet the 5 people who want to sit next to Kelly for a day as we kick off our Coast to Coast co-host search finalists week. Plus, superstar Josh Groban joins Kelly for the entire hour. All next on the Emmy Award-winning Live. Now, here are Kelly Ripa and Josh Groban.
I'll get that for you. I got it.
Oh my gosh.
What was that?
Well, let's just get into it.
Oh,
You are.
you are. This lady has her tongue sticking out of her mouth while
Yes,
she does it.
she wanted to dance, but she couldn't get up. It was really strange. It's like you were...
That was a nice surprise. I think that's a first for me.
No, you are beloved by this audience,
Well,
and
you
that
are.
is proof right there.
I love them right back.
Hey. In case you haven't figured it out, it is Monday, July 16th, 2012, and Josh Groban is back to co-host.
You like my...
Are you wearing a pocket square?
I am wearing a pocket square for you.
You are so chic today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Skinny tie,
That's
pocket
right. In
square.
case I cry or drool,
Yeah.
I can just a little dab will do it.
I feel like I'm in an episode of Mad Men when
Do you?
Yes, I want to bend over and pick up a pencil that you threw on the ground.
Just knock over the flag. Oops.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get that.
Oh my goodness. Well, it is so wonderful as always to sit next to the loveliest of lovelies yourself,
Oh, gosh.
and to all of you, America,
And Canada.
and Canada, and excellent. And live streaming throughout the world. Do you live
Yes.
stream the show? Is this
No live
No,
streaming.
they
No
watch
live
us.
streaming.
They
Well,
watch us on the internet.
do
Though.
they? Some
Yes,
of
yes.
them?
I was for the first time ever in my life. I went to Paris this weekend. Yeah. Let's all say it together. Ooh la la.
Oui, oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Or in the slang they say, mouais.
Well, so I got to practice speaking my American with a French accent. As you know, it is. So I would ask people for directions, and I would say, "Pardonnez-moi, do you know where is Rue de Castille?" And they would say, "Do you speak French?" And I would say, "Oh no, I am American, and I am looking for Rue de." But they said that my accent was very.
I have found they just love it when we do that. They absolutely love it when we do that.
I've got to say, the loveliest people. The Parisians were spectacular, so kind and patient. And we were there for Bastille Day, which was a big, big celebration. And
Yes.
I will bore you with my photos, because you know I take my camera phone everywhere. This is the oldest church in Paris, everybody. Isn't it beautiful?
How old
Yes.
is it?
I don't know. They told me, but I wasn't listening. I was taking pictures
That is
with my
très
camera phone.
interesting.
Here it is, the Louvre,
There
where
it is.
I was told that if you spent 3 years looking at every painting, if you looked at every painting for 2 minutes in the Louvre, it would take 3 years. 3 years for 2 minutes.
If you took 3 years looking at every painting, though, that would take you.
That would take 6,000
lifetime.
years. And here's Notre Dame. When I saw this, I thought of Regis. I had to take a picture. This is where he went to college.
Oh, okay.
He didn't learn a lick of French while he was there, but he did go to college there. And this is the reason we went. We went to go see Madonna and
Madonna.
comes, and that's the backside of Madonna, and we can all agree it's a good backside.
Was that the ticket
That was
they
my
gave you?
vantage
Was
point.
Was that your
yes.
seat?
Yeah, well, there's
Were you in the band?
No, I was almost in the van. I was almost in the van. For the world's...
Snappen de Bisman.
the world's oldest groupies. No, I was in this very interesting area. So there's the stage, and then there's a runway and another stage. So it makes a triangle, and I was in the middle of the triangle. It's like a mosh pit for people who like to dance.
Yeah, which you do like to dance.
Yeah, and I was like, is she looking at me? I swear she's making eye contact with me. And everybody in the pit's like, yeah, that's her gift. You all think she's making eye contact with just you.
That's her gift.
But that's how I knew that people saw our show, because there were people from Glasgow and Belfast and Russia and all over the world that said, oh, I see your show on the web.
And they watch it online.
They watch it online. So
Wow.
the world is getting so small now.
To my fans in Papua New Guinea, thank you for checking in this morning. I really appreciate it.
And so this is so we stayed at a hotel called Shangri-La Hotel, and this was the view from our room. That's Mark Consuelos, and guess what's behind him? That's right, the Eiffel Tower.
A big cloud. Oh yes, in front of that, yeah.
And then another reason I love the Parisians, inside the Eiffel Tower is a disco ball.
Is a little ball.
Yeah, that's a disco ball.
Because even at the greatest monuments, we like to party.
We like to have a good time, we dance. It's good, we have a good time.
Or was that where Madonna performed, perhaps?
No, she didn't.
She was at
She
the
did
Eiffel Tower.
not perform there, but it's...
Are you jet lagged at all? I mean, are you...
I'm not,
You took a quick trip. That was 48 hours? And what was that?
48 hours of complete heaven. I cannot wait to go back.
It looks a little cloudy. Was it raining?
When we landed, it was unseasonably cold. It was chilly in 60s and raining, and they kept apologizing to us for the weather everywhere we went. They would say, "Oh, we're so sorry about this weather," and I was like, "Oh, it's not your fault." But they were like, they felt so responsible. But then the next day, it was beautiful for a Bastille Day. It was beautiful.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, your weekend was much more adventurous than mine.
Well, what was your weekend like?
My weekend, what did I do? It was really hot here. So for any of you New Yorkers, it was very humid. It was very hot. So I decided to kind of treat myself with a couple of cab rides. When now that I live in New York, I walk and I take the train and I ride my bike. So whenever I'm in a cab, it's like, oh, look at me in the back seat, getting driven somewhere,
Look at me.
like an aristocrat.
Like a king.
Yes.
Like a king.
Yeah, driving Miss
Taxi
Daisy.
driver, please.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna skip the sweatiness of the subway station. I'm gonna take a cab to a show.
Yeah.
I get in the cab and I'm running late, and the guy says, okay, 50 cents. I have to make a stop. 50 cents off. I'll make a stop, and 50 cents off your bill. I'm thinking 50 cents. Okay. I said, I'm running late. I'll take the subway. And he says, no, okay, fine. Forget the 50 cents. I'll just take you right there. 5 minutes later, he pulls over and he says, 50 cents off, I have to make the stop. 50 cents off, I'll make the stop. So he pulls over and he takes his little Dunkin' Donuts coffee cup, and he walks into one of those phone kiosks, and I just see him kind of shaking his leg, and standing there with the cup, he's peeing into the cup. He pees into the cup, he doesn't bring the cup back. And I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting in the back seat, kind of just eyeing him in the rearview mirror, just kind of terrified. And he looks at me for a minute and just goes, "It's very bad to hold it. Very bad to hold it." And like from a guy to guy, like they were supposed to have some kind of understanding of like, I get it, man, I get it. We've all been there.
Taxi driver wisdom.
Yeah. 50.
And so you let him keep the change, obviously.
Yeah. He kept that change. And I gave him
It's a $7 cab ride. I only have a $100 bill, but I insist, keep the change.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And you
I just threw my wallet into the front seat. I threw my wallet into the front seat.
Twirl it up front.
And never drank coffee again. Or used a payphone.
Well, it was probably the coffee that caused that reaction.
It was maybe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky it was just number one. Could you imagine? Imagine if he had said $1 off. $1 off.
Yeah.
I just have to make a stop. $1 off. Oh no, not $1 off. Oh
One
boy.
lump or two.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, I took it. And Groban carries it over the line. Eat that, Strahan. All right. Oh, Lordy.
I love that you two still have your
poop jokes.
Yes, and there you go. In other concert news, the United Kingdom, that's right, Britain, they pulled the plug on the boss, Bruce Springsteen and Paul McCartney, for the first time ever performed together, and apparently the police pulled the plug. I guess it's just one plug that controls the volume to that concert. Like, can you picture somebody backstage going with a scary mustache and they're like, I'm gonna pull the plug, and they shut off the sound because the concert went on too long. Has that ever happened to you?
I want to weep with my hanky for that moment.
Cry
because you think, I mean, well, the boss, I mean, Bruce is known for his long concerts.
Right.
He'll go on, he'll be sweeping the floor by the end of the show. I mean, he really gives it his all, and so the idea that he would be there with Paul McCartney and that somebody would be, I mean, they're very serious about their rules, but you know what song it was? They were in the middle of that.
Is it Twist and Shout?
I might have been Twist and Shout.
Yeah.
What a depressing moment.
Can you imagine?
Come on and shake it up.
The first time we ever left Michael with a babysitter ever, and it was such a big deal for us because it had been like 2 years since we had gone on a date, and we decided to leave our son with a babysitter, and we're like, we are going on a date, and we have tickets to the Springsteen concert, and we are going like grown-ups out. And we get there, he plays the first song, and the babysitter calls us, Michael's been stung by a bee. He's very upset. He wants his mommy. I was like, can you tell him I'm at a Springsteen concert?
It'll be about 6 more hours.
Can you tell him it's been 700 days since I've left the house? No, we went home. Anyway, so it was a short night for us as well.
Man, stung by a bee. I remember my first bee sting.
Yeah, it was
I was
pretty
in preschool and hated it.
You hated it, right?
Come pick me up immediately.
So now listen.
Well, the Springsteen concert isn't over until the villain from Inspector Gadget
shows up and pulls the plug
with his